Hey guys, we're running a little behind schedule, but I just wanted to shoot a quick kind of update video on the dually build here. We just got the lift installed, the rims and tires on. Of course, you guys see this Bradford built truck bed before. We went with a 4-inch BDS lift Longarm kit, and so far it looks like it fits perfect with 37s. I'm running 37 by 1350 up front, and then dual 37 1250s in the rear. Cooper STT Pros again. We had them on the Power Wagon and they worked really good. Got some 20-inch Fuel Mavericks. They look pretty good. We had to get a new inner. The offset was wrong and the tires are right close together, so we got that fixed up. So we got that all on. Here's a shot of the front arms here. We went with the upgraded Fox 2.0 shocks, and then the dual steering stabilizer, and then if you look back behind, their heavy duty adjustable track bar in behind the drag link bar there. So keep that front end sturdy. In the front here, you can see Trail Ready's awesome full guard front bumper we went with, and some Piaa LED driving and fog lights. For winch, we went with a Warren 16.5 TIS, and the S just means it comes factory with synthetic rope, and then a couple Epic shackles and their Epic hook. Really nice heavy duty spring on these Epic hooks, so when you're hooked on, you're hooked on. That's what I like about those. We're, like I said, we're 3/4 of the way through the build. We got to do something about rear flares. You see we got quite a bit of poke in the rear. For now, we're just gonna run these bedsides here. Basically run these bedsides somehow like that. And it looks like we're gonna be close to legal with those bedsides down like that. At least we'll get some coverage for the tires so it doesn't chew up the trailer too bad. And then talking to my buddy James, he owns Full Throttle Concepts in Saskatoon. When we get back, we're gonna build some more permanent rear flares, and actually the way he was talking is we're gonna make a complete insert fender well in here, so the bottom kind of front of it will drop down and cover up the front of the toolbox so that doesn't get banged up too bad, and it'll basically make a full wheel well in there so the bed isn't taking the brunt of the abuse. And then the mud flap will be moved a little closer. It'll mount kind of to the back of that slide-in wheel well. So that should look pretty cool. We're gonna have to come out a few inches to, like I said, to cover up that poke from the tire. And then talking about running some tubing off the frame here, coming up in between the bed and the back of the cab, and fashioning up a rack on top of the roof. We can put a spare tire up there, because right now we don't have a 37-inch spare tire. Maybe a light bar at the front of it. So kind of some things to look forward to in the future on this once we get back from Texas. And then we went to Impact Diesel Performance in Saskatoon. We went with a full 4-inch FloPro turbo back exhaust. I didn't want to really go straight pipe because it gets a little drony, especially if you're actually using your truck to tow on the highway, and we got a 6,000 kilometer trip coming up, so we stuck in an exhaust, a muffler, kind of keep the noise down a little. And then up under the hood we went with 625 ARP head studs. We got EFI Live with a 5-position switch, and EGR and DEF delete. So she has tons of power. I'm scared to turn the switch past 2. We're just running the stock Ace and transmission, so we're gonna have to be smart so we don't have any transmission trouble. Here's a shot of the amp power steps. We did them again on this build. We really liked them on the Power Wagon. They work really great. Come down, give you a nice step up, and then retract out of the way and give you a really nice clean body line. So anyways, so we got the performance done, we got the lift done, and now we're gonna actually see if it's even gonna fit underneath this fifth wheel that we got to pull all the way to Texas. So hang on, we'll back her up and test fit it. try to drag it out. It's super sketchy. It's like super icy and it's kind of downhill, so hopefully the trailer doesn't push us into the trees. We're gonna just try to get out the second driveway there in this slushy, icy crap. All right.
Woo! Looks really long. Oh, snap. He's leaving without me.
Holy smokes, guys, I was worried. We're doing a lift in 37s. I had no idea if the trailer was even going to sit level, if this was even going to work. We didn't know till like this afternoon if the whole thing was even going to work, but it actually looks really great. We had a change from a normal fifth wheel hitch to this Reese goose box. It hooks onto the ball instead of like a normal fifth wheel. So I think that saved us a bit of height. Really helped. And then with the factory air ride, you could push an alternate height and it actually drops it back in. If you look, it looks like it's kind of squatting. You could actually let some air out of the factory bags and it squats down and it looks like we're fairly level. So I'm pretty freaking excited, man. I was pretty worried. I was stressing last night. We hadn't even tried anything. Weren't even sure what we were taking out of Texas, but everything looks great. We're gonna load her up. We're gonna get going tomorrow morning and we're gonna see you guys in a couple days. Okay. How does it look on the other side? Is it centered on the ram?
No. It's kind of like come like this.
Go that way? Okay. So the tires are kind of turned that way. So let's just go on the back tire and we'll just try to do what we're doing. Okay, hang on. We're going to straighten it out now. This is neatness. Ready, go.
Like a glove?
All the way. So,
It needs to come over just a tiny bit and it won't do that.
looks pretty good. Holy smokes, we got her in. This toy hauler says it has a 12-foot garage. With this front bumper on, Can-Am's front bumper, front winch bumper, there is like literally like maybe 2 inches when the door is closed in the front, and the back's even tighter. So you wouldn't be able to run a rear bumper, that's for sure. But all I really want to do is run a toe plate. CT Raceworks toe plate. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see, but really there's like maybe 1 inch clearance. But these walls are cheap. You know, if it ever rubbed through or whatever, you had to replace a panel, no big deal. I actually had to open up these doors. This is kind of the door from the main area into the garage. because the tires, these 34.5-inch allos, are so big, they go back a lot further than, say, the Bighorns were. So that gave us a couple extra inches of clearance that we needed. Then we're just going to throw everything else, I guess, what we need underneath. Good thing we got decent ground clearance with the X3 being stock. Yeah, I don't know if Mrs. Ostacruiser said why we were pushing it in here, but we had 2 weeks to get the ECU down to Mr. Bruce Klein, down to get it reflashed and sent back, and good old Canada Post, I shipped it 2-day, and it took a week and a half to get there. So instead of having him reflash it and send it back and possibly getting stuck at the border again and us having no ECU, I just told him to keep it and bring it to my nationals, and it really takes 2 seconds to pop in. It's behind the seat, 2 plugs, 1 bolt, boom, and then we'll start her up and we'll have our reflashed Mr. RPM reflashed ECU for a bit more power. So anyways, that's why we were pushing it on. So good thing we were a little teeny bit downhill, because it wasn't even really that much of a pain in the butt to push on. And good thing my son was home to help. So anyways, yeah, we got her. We got lots of room up top, which the old Maverick sat so much higher than the new X3. So that's kind of nice. We don't have to take any of these bunks out of the toy hauler, which we would have had to do with our old one, especially when it was on portal lifts. It was freaking gigantic height wise. So anyways, yeah, we got her in. We're going to strap her down and we're going to blast off tomorrow morning. So hopefully she's riding level enough where it's not going to be too much pressure on the rear axle. I'm praying to God. We got 2 spare tires we're going to bring. So hopefully we don't need them, but better be prepared. Hopefully all this effing snow melts that's sitting on top of it. You can see it's just dripping like a mother. It's supposed to be getting cold again tomorrow. High of -7 and a low of -16. Today was like +4. It was beautiful. Awesome. All right. So that's a quick overview, and we'll shoot some video on the road, and hopefully we'll get a nice big video together for you guys. Thanks for watching.